Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you all today. Today, we'll be exploring the important topic of EU GMP certification for pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'll guide you through the key aspects of this essential certification. In this presentation, we'll cover what EU GMP certification entails, why it's crucial, and the steps involved in achieving compliance. Let's get started and dive into the world of pharmaceutical quality standards. Let's begin by understanding what EU GMP actually is. EU GMP stands for European Union Good Manufacturing Practice. It's a regulatory system designed to ensure that pharmaceutical products are consistently manufactured and controlled according to strict quality standards set by the European Union. Basically, it's about making sure medicines are safe, effective, and of high quality. Now, obtaining EU GMP certification is not just a formality. It's mandatory for any pharmaceutical company that wants to supply medicines within the European Union. This certification acts as a seal of quality and compliance, verifying that a company meets all the necessary standards to produce medicines that are safe for patients. Moving on to why this is so important. EU GMP certification opens doors to the European pharmaceutical markets. It allows companies to access a large, sophisticated, and highly regulated market, which can be a huge business opportunity. It also provides international recognition. When a company is certified according to EU GMP standards, it signals to the global community that their manufacturing processes meet some of the highest quality standards worldwide. Moreover, compliance with these stringent European quality standards not only ensures safety and efficacy, but also enhances a company's reputation. It can lead to improved export opportunities and boost global credibility, making your products more attractive to international partners and customers. So, in essence, EU GMP certification isn't just a regulatory requirement. It's a key to unlocking global markets and establishing trust in your manufacturing processes. Now, let's take a closer look at the main objectives of EU GMP certification. First and foremost, it's about ensuring the quality, safety, and efficacy of medicines. This means that the products we produce should do what they're supposed to do without causing harm to patients. Another key point is preventing contamination, errors, and mix-ups during manufacturing. Maintaining a clean and controlled environment is critical to avoid any issues that could compromise the medicine's integrity. Consistency in pharmaceutical production is also vital. Patients and healthcare providers need to trust that each batch of medicine is the same as the last, ensuring reliability and compliance with standards. Proper documentation and traceability are essential components as well. Keeping detailed records helps us track every step of production, which is crucial in case of recalls or investigations. And finally, protecting public health through strict regulatory compliance is the overarching goal. By adhering to these standards, we contribute to a safer healthcare system overall. Now, moving on to why this certification is so important. EU GMP certification verifies that a manufacturing facility follows internationally recognized standards. It's a clear mark of quality and trust that assures regulators, healthcare providers, and patients that the medicines they receive are safe and effective. Let's take a look at the key regulatory authorities involved in pharmaceutical oversight. First, we have the European Medicines Agency, or EMA. The EMA plays a crucial role in coordinating pharmaceutical regulation across the European Union. One of its main responsibilities is supporting the harmonization of good manufacturing practice, or GMP, standards, ensuring consistency and quality across member states. Next, there are the EU National Competent Authorities, or NCAs. These agencies conduct inspections within their countries and are responsible for issuing EU GMP certificates. For example, the MHRA in the UK, though its role has evolved post-Brexit, has historically been significant. Other examples include BFRM in Germany and ANSM in France. These bodies are essential for maintaining national and regional compliance. Moving on, we have the CDSCO in India, which is the country's primary regulatory authority. The CDSCO oversees pharmaceutical compliance with Indian regulations, ensuring that standards are met for safety and efficacy. Finally, there's the state FDA, which operates at the state level within India. They are responsible for granting manufacturing licenses and conducting local GMP inspections. This layered approach helps maintain rigorous oversight at both national and local levels. Together, these authorities form a comprehensive regulatory framework that supports the safety, quality, and consistency of pharmaceuticals worldwide, aligning with our overall theme of global pharmaceutical regulation. Let's take a closer look at the responsibilities of the EMA and the EU authorities. The EMA, or European Medicines Agency, plays a crucial role in coordinating pharmaceutical regulations across the European Union. This includes maintaining the EU Good Manufacturing Practice Guidelines, which set the standards for manufacturing quality, and supporting centralized product approvals to streamline access to medicines across member states. On the other hand, national competent authorities have their own key roles. They conduct GMP inspections to ensure manufacturing sites comply with required standards, verify that manufacturing processes meet compliance, and issue EU GMP certificates to confirm this. They also monitor ongoing compliance after certification and take regulatory actions if they find noncompliance, ensuring the integrity of the supply chain. Now, a significant focus area for both EMA and national authorities is data integrity. Ensuring that data is accurate, complete, and reliable is fundamental to maintaining safety and quality. Sterile manufacturing systems are another critical area, as they require strict controls to prevent contamination. Proper documentation practices are essential for traceability and accountability. Lastly, risk management and quality assurance are overarching themes. They help identify potential issues proactively and maintain high standards throughout the manufacturing process. All these responsibilities and focus areas work together to uphold the highest standards of quality, safety, and efficacy in medicines across Europe, reinforcing our overall goal of protecting public health. Now, let's talk about the responsibilities of the CDSCO and state FDA. First, the CDSCO, which is the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, plays a crucial role in ensuring that our pharmaceutical products meet national GMP standards. They also coordinate with international regulatory agencies, which is vital for maintaining global standards and facilitating exports. Additionally, they support export-related pharmaceutical regulation, helping our companies access international markets smoothly. On the other hand, the state FDA has its own set of important responsibilities. They grant manufacturing licenses, which is the first step for any company wanting to produce pharmaceuticals legally. They conduct routine GMP inspections to ensure ongoing compliance and verify that manufacturing processes meet Schedule M requirements, which are specific standards outlined for drug manufacturing. Moreover, they monitor manufacturing activities within their respective states to maintain quality and safety. So, why are these responsibilities important? Well, these authorities play a vital role in preparing Indian pharmaceutical companies for EU GMP inspections. Their oversight and compliance checks help ensure that our products meet the rigorous standards expected in global markets, making us more competitive and trustworthy on the international stage. Now, let's look at the eligibility criteria for EU GMP certification. First, when it comes to facilities that are eligible, we're talking about a range of manufacturing units. This includes facilities that produce tablets and capsules, which are quite common in the industry. Sterile injectable manufacturing units are also eligible, and these are critical for many pharmaceuticals requiring strict sterility. Additionally, API manufacturing facilities, which produce the active pharmaceutical ingredients, are included. Biotechnology and biologics manufacturing sites also qualify, especially as these are becoming increasingly important in the industry. Finally, contract manufacturing organizations, or CMOs, that meet the criteria are also eligible for certification. Moving on to the basic requirements, the first key point is holding a valid manufacturing license. This is fundamental. The infrastructure must be GMP compliant, meaning it adheres to the strict standards that ensure quality and safety. It's also essential to have qualified technical staff, people who are trained and experienced to maintain high manufacturing standards. Furthermore, robust QA and QC systems are required to ensure quality assurance and quality control are always maintained throughout the process. Lastly, validation and documentation systems are critical. They help prove that processes are consistent and compliant, which is vital for certification. All these elements are interconnected and reflect the overall theme of maintaining high standards in pharmaceutical manufacturing to meet EU GMP requirements. Let's walk through the application process for EU GMP certification. The first step is the submission of application. Here, the pharmaceutical company needs to submit a comprehensive set of documents to the relevant EU authority or importer. This includes the site master file, which provides an overview of the manufacturing site and its compliance. They also need to include their manufacturing license, detailed information about the products, and validation reports that demonstrate the manufacturing processes are reliable and consistent. Additionally, standard operating procedures and quality manuals are required, along with batch manufacturing records that document production history. Once the application is submitted, the next step is the inspection request. After reviewing the submitted documents, the EU authority will schedule a GMP inspection. This is a crucial part of the process because it allows the authority to verify that the manufacturing site truly complies with GMP standards in practice. This process ensures that only high-quality, safe medicines enter the market, aligning with the overall goal of maintaining public health and safety. Let's take a closer look at the document review process conducted by EU authorities. During this phase, the documents submitted are carefully evaluated to determine several critical aspects. First, they assess the GMP compliance status, ensuring that manufacturing practices meet the required standards. Next, they review the quality management systems in place, which are essential for maintaining consistent product quality. They also examine the facility design and infrastructure to confirm that the environment supports proper manufacturing processes. Additionally, they look at the documentation and validation systems, making sure all procedures are properly documented and validated. Lastly, they evaluate the manufacturing and testing procedures to verify their robustness and adherence to regulatory standards. The key takeaway here is that this thorough review helps ensure that everything is in order before moving forward. If the documents are satisfactory, the next step is to begin planning the inspection, which is a crucial milestone in the approval process. This review process is fundamental because it sets the foundation for a successful inspection and eventual approval. Let's now take a look at some of the key areas that are commonly reviewed during inspections. First, environmental monitoring is crucial because it helps ensure that manufacturing environments meet the required standards for cleanliness and control. Next, deviation and CAPA systems are closely examined to see how effectively issues are identified, investigated, and resolved. Complaint handling and recalls are also scrutinized, as they directly impact product quality and patient safety. Additionally, personnel training records are reviewed to confirm that staff are properly trained and competent. Moving on to the EU GMP inspection process, inspectors focus on several specific activities. They evaluate manufacturing operations to ensure processes are consistently followed and controlled. HVAC and water systems are checked because they play vital roles in maintaining the sterile and controlled environment needed for production. Quality control laboratories are also inspected to verify that testing and analysis are accurate and reliable. Data integrity systems are another critical area. Inspectors want to see that data is complete, consistent, and trustworthy. Validation and qualification records are examined to confirm that equipment and processes are properly validated and maintained. Finally, warehousing and storage conditions are reviewed to ensure raw materials, in-process products, and finished goods are stored under appropriate conditions to maintain their quality. All these areas connect back to the overall theme of compliance and quality assurance, which are essential for maintaining regulatory approval and ensuring patient safety. Now, let's move on to slide 11, which focuses on inspection deficiencies and observations. When inspections take place, deficiencies are categorized into different types based on their severity and impact. Critical deficiencies are the most serious, often indicating immediate risks to product quality or patient safety. Major deficiencies are significant issues that need prompt correction but may not pose an immediate risk. Minor deficiencies are less severe and usually relate to documentation or procedural gaps. We often see common findings during inspections. For example, incomplete documentation is a frequent issue, which can hinder traceability and accountability. Poor cleaning validation might compromise the cleanliness and safety of the manufacturing environment. Inadequate data integrity controls threaten the reliability of our records, and deficient environmental monitoring can lead to undetected contamination risks. Additionally, incomplete training records are a concern because they can impact staff competency and compliance. When deficiencies are identified, corrective actions are essential. Companies are required to submit CAPA plans, corrective and preventive actions, within a specified timeline. These plans outline how they will address the deficiencies, prevent recurrence, and ensure continuous improvement. Understanding and addressing these deficiencies effectively is key to maintaining compliance and ensuring product quality. Let's walk through an example of an EU GMP inspection. Imagine an Indian injectable manufacturing facility going through this process. Now, during the inspection, the inspectors found that the sterile manufacturing systems were compliant, which is a great sign that their primary manufacturing processes meet EU standards. The water system validation was also satisfactory, indicating that the facility's water systems are properly validated and safe for use. However, they did identify some minor deficiencies, specifically in the deviation documentation. This highlights an area where the facility needed to improve their record-keeping and documentation practices. Addressing such issues is crucial because thorough documentation supports compliance and ongoing quality assurance. In response, the facility took corrective actions. They improved their documentation procedures to ensure clarity and accuracy. They also provided additional GMP training to their staff, reinforcing best practices and regulatory requirements. Plus, they submitted updated CAPA reports that demonstrate their commitment to continuous improvement. As a result of these efforts, the facility successfully obtained EU GMP certification. This example really underscores how proactive responses and continuous improvement are key to navigating regulatory inspections and achieving compliance. It also ties back to the overall theme of maintaining quality standards and ensuring patient safety in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Once a facility successfully passes the inspection, the next step is obtaining the EU GMP certification. This certification is essential because it officially recognizes that the facility complies with the necessary good manufacturing practices. Once issued, the details of the facility are added to the UDRA GMDP database, which is a central registry that regulators and stakeholders can access to verify compliance. However, earning the certification isn't the end of the story. Post-approval monitoring is a crucial part of maintaining quality and compliance. This involves periodic inspections to ensure ongoing adherence to GMP standards, as well as regulatory surveillance, where authorities keep an eye on the facility's operations and any changes that might impact quality. Additionally, there are regular product quality reviews, and any complaints or recalls are thoroughly investigated. These measures help identify potential issues early and ensure that product safety and efficacy are maintained throughout the product lifecycle. Finally, it's important to understand the possible regulatory outcomes. Depending on the findings during inspections and reviews, a facility might receive full approval, or in some cases, conditional approval with certain conditions to meet. Serious violations, however, can lead to suspension of operations or import restrictions, emphasizing the importance of continuous compliance in this industry. So, in conclusion, EU GMP certification is really the gold standard when it comes to quality in pharmaceutical manufacturing worldwide. It's an internationally recognized benchmark that ensures products meet high safety and efficacy standards. When we look at regulation, within Europe, authorities like the EMA and EU agencies are responsible for overseeing pharmaceutical manufacturing, making sure companies adhere to these strict standards. In India, organizations like CDSCO and state FDA play a similar role, supporting national compliance with GMP requirements. But achieving certification isn't just about having the right label. It's really about maintaining proper quality systems, thorough documentation, and being prepared for inspections at any time. These elements are crucial to demonstrate continuous compliance and ensure product quality. Finally, obtaining EU GMP certification doesn't just benefit companies locally. It significantly boosts international trust and opens doors to global markets. It's a key step toward expanding reach and establishing credibility across borders. Overall, this certification aligns with the broader goal of ensuring safe, reliable medicines worldwide, while supporting companies' growth and trustworthiness on the global stage. Now, let's look at some of the key benefits of obtaining EU GMP certification. For pharmaceutical companies, this certification opens the door to the entire EU pharmaceutical market, which is a major advantage for expanding business. It also enhances the company's global reputation, signaling a commitment to high-quality standards. Additionally, it can increase export opportunities, making it easier to access international markets. Furthermore, achieving EU GMP standards often leads to better quality management systems within the organization, which improves overall efficiency and consistency. It's also a mark of international regulatory recognition, which can simplify compliance processes in other regions. On the public health side, the benefits are equally significant. EU GMP certification helps ensure the supply of safe and high-quality medicines to patients. This not only protects public health, but also builds trust in the medicines we rely on daily. So, in summary, these benefits, both for companies and public health, are key reasons why striving for EU GMP certification is so important in our industry. For further support, please feel free to contact us. We're here to help answer any questions you might have or provide additional resources. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. I really appreciate your engagement throughout this presentation, and I hope you found it valuable. Remember, we're always available to assist you as you implement what you've learned. Once again, thank you, and have a great day.